Sup everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Sane. Today I'm going to be talking about a couple things I want to see change in Unite. I have a little list here that I tweeted out. I'm going to talk about some things. Just things I'd like to see to see the game change. I'm a solo queuer who's been playing ranked and been losing a lot because of some things. Like there's some games where obviously like I make mistakes and stuff. And solo queuing is rough. But there's just like some things that I noticed would really help my experience while solo queuing, help my experience while 5 stacking, stuff like that. Just some things I notice. I feel like you notice some of the flaws more when you lose and you get upset than when you're just like winning. So, anyways, that's what kind of what inspired me to do this list. I want to talk about a couple things. Let's get into it. So first off, I want to talk about item balance, and there are about 5 to 6 items that are just like incredibly strong in this game. Like Buddy Barrier is ridiculous. 40% 40% HP shield. Excuse me. 40% HP shield when you use your night move is crazy. It's just like auto wins team fights. Focus Band just recovers so much HP. Score Shield is pretty funny and gimmicky. I'm not like worried about how strong these items are. More just how weak the other ones are and how bugged the other ones are. I'd like to see maybe Buddy Barrier get a slight nerf to the shield it gives. Maybe I think just 30% HP would be better than 40%. Focus Band, maybe just recover a little bit less HP, but honestly it's fine. The best items right now are Focus Band, Buddy Barrier, Score Shield, Muscle Band, Wise Glasses, and Scope Lens. Energy Amplifier is kind of that 6th item. Shell Bell is kind of gimmicky and have a weird cooldown thing. Floatstone just doesn't do anything for you, honestly. Attack Weight doesn't really give you that much stuff. Rocky Helmet has weird, buggy, gimmicky cooldown. Aeos Cookie doesn't really give you that much HP. Like, you don't really get a lot of special attack. XP Share can work on, like, one Pokemon. That's about it. Leftovers is just hot garbage. And Assault Vest is only good against special attackers, and the meta is, like, ruled by physical attackers, so Assault Vest kind of just sucks. But, like, if it's ever a special attack meta, then Assault Vest will be good. But I just want to see some more item variety. I want to see some buffs to these other items, like some bug fixes to, like, I guess some bugs with Scope Lens. Maybe change the cooldown on Shell Bell so it's a little bit more useful. Make the Floatstone just give more. I feel like it doesn't need to be when not in combat. I think it'd be fine if it was just when you have it on. You just get more. Maybe not 20% movement increase, but like 15% at level 30 or something. I don't know. That sounds nice to me. Attack Weight, make it give you more attack when you score. Same thing with Aeos Cookie specs. XP shares, I guess, fine. Leftovers needs to do something. I don't know. The Leftovers doesn't really do anything. Soul Vest is fine. Just some nice item fixes. I guess Energy Amplifier has a little bit of some bugs, like the Unite rate charge doesn't actually really do anything, so some changes on that. But otherwise, it's in a pretty good spot. Wise Glasses in a great spot. Muscle Band's in a great spot. Score Shield's in a great spot. Focus Band is relatively fine. Buddy Barrier is a little strong, but maybe just like from 40% to 30%. That's what I think. I think that'd be fine. That's still a huge shield. Whatever. Maybe the HP gives is a little intense too. A little bit of both. I don't know. Some kind of cooldown on this. And if they decide to nerf items, and even just another change I'd like to see is since people are spending, like, as you see on me, I have a lot of items upgraded high. They're spending the item enhancers and tickets on items that we find out that are not very good. We find out items that are not very good, like Floatstone. I'd love if they gave us a way to kind of de-level or unlevel, kind of sell our levels on items for about half the tickets or half the item enhancers. So for every 2 levels you get 1 item enhancers. So for this Floatstone, if I went all the way back to if I went all the way back to 10, or I went all the way back to 1, however many item enhancers it is to get me to 20, I get half of that. Just so you can, like, that way it's not like full refund, but I think that'd be fair. Like a 50% refund would be kind of fair. Just let you sell some of these items. It's a new game, like, whatever. They're probably not gonna do that, but like I doubt they ever do that. But still, it'd be really nice. It'd be a nice change to see. That's about all with items. I just want to see, and then not only the held items, but also battle items. Eject button's far and above the best one. It's just like, give it a longer cooldown. I think maybe a minute 20 or something. And it just make these other ones do something better. Like Potion needs either less cooldown, or I think Potion just needs to heal more. Fluffy Tail is just kind of just in a weird spot. It just needs a better use for the meta. I think it's probably okay as it is. Full heal's okay as it is. Goal Getter, why is it every 2 minutes? That's horrible. Goal Getter needs to be like a minute cooldown or slower. Like, let Goal Getter actually be good. Slow Smoke, I think it should just straight up be Greninja's slow smoke screen, but I don't really want that either. X Speed needs a shorter cooldown, maybe longer. Effect time, maybe longer, maybe a bigger increase the speed. X Attack, I think, just needs to increase attack more or something like that. Just I mainly just want to see some buffs to these other items, and then like just do something to eject button, because it's annoying that every single character only runs eject button. There's like there's really no room for any kind of experimentation besides like the occasional full heal. That's about it. So I'll have to see that changed. Next up, block on Snorlax. I think honestly, besides Garchomp and like Absol, I think every character is like strong enough, and even Garchomp and Absol. Really, just Absol needs some more late game scaling, but whatever. I think the game is great on the cast. Like everyone seems pretty balanced. There's like clearly better characters, but everyone's usable. They're buffing some of the bad ones, like Venusaur got buffed, Charizard got buffed, and Wigglytuff got a really big buff, and Wigglytuff's like really good now. I mean, they toned down a couple of the crazy ones like Cinderace, Eldegoss, and they kind of tweaked Gengar a little bit to kind of give him a better second moveset, and toned down Hex a little bit. But I can't believe they didn't touch Snorlax. Like some people say that like Lucario is the best character in the game. He's good, but he's not the best character in the game. Like Eldegoss is still crazy. Cinderace is still really good. Greninja's really, where's Greninja? Greninja's really strong right now. But just like no one's as dominant as Snorlax, and it's really just his block. Like I think Snorlax just needs some kind of nerf on him. I'm gonna say he needs some kind of nerf, because the damage he does with Heavy Slam is ridiculous, but it's really just block. Like how long block lasts, how long it stuns you. I'd honestly rather it just push you back farther and not stun you for as long, instead of like the constant like he kind of just pushes you and stuns you and pushes you and stuns you and pushes you and stuns you. I'd rather him just like push me far away and have like a tiny little stun, or even just a knock away. Not even a stun, just like a knock away, and then like if I run into it, of course, if I run into it, like, I get messed up, but I don't have to, like, I basically don't have an option. Like, right now with Snorlax, it's kind of, you just, like, you get blocked, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, he just constantly stuns you, and he can just push you up against the wall like that, and it just, like Snorlax can just kind of push you up against the wall, and you just literally can't do anything for so long. It's active for so long, and you can even cancel it. This character is it's just ridiculous. Just gonna bounce around here, like, let me see this reset real quick. See, like, yeah, I'd rather it just not stun you for as long, or not stun you at all, push you even farther. So it's good at like getting somebody off a goal, and then they're off, and like that's over. I feel like that should be it. Heavy Slam just does a lot of damage. This character just does so much damage for like no reason. He's so good at just executing people and stealing objectives, and like he doesn't die. I mean, I don't really think his ult needs to change. I think it's really just block. I'd like to see a Heavy Slam change too, but that's about it. Let's see what else. I guess I can't really show everything in gameplay, so I'm just gonna keep this Snorlax kind of going, moving around, so you guys have something to look at while I talk. Another thing I'd like to see would be item buffs, Snorlax. I would like to see a rule that locks attackers. That locks rolls to 2 of each. I can't tell you how many times I've seen games where there are 4 attackers, 3 attackers. And I can't blame people, because the attackers are all so good. You have Cinderace and Greninja, who are the top two junglers right now, who can also lane super well. Ninetales is an absolute monster. Cramorant's really good. Pikachu's really good. Venusaur's good now too. Gardevoir's, people are kind of seeing the truth about Gardevoir. But you just like, you get these games, and this is really just to like stop randoms from only going attackers and try to almost force people into learning new roles. Which other games do that? Like you can't have too many of one role. I think like Overwatch does something like that. But this, it literally just locks you from having games where you have like Greninja in the jungle, Cinderace up top in top lane, and a Ninetales supporting someone in bottom, and then you have like one defender and like an all-rounder. It's it's dumb. It gets really, really dumb to see like 3-4 attackers and it can work, like it's allowed to work. So I'd just like to see 2 of each role. Like having 2 attackers is totally fine. Like Ninetales and Cinderace play very different roles, so I'm totally fine with them being there. You have like a mage, more of a crowd control with Ninetales, and then with someone like Venusaur, you have that like 88 attack damage carry. So I'm perfectly fine with seeing 2 attackers, but I think 3 of one role is where things just get out of hand. And another thing I want to see, another change I want to see that is involved with attackers is I want to see them get some change to them being in jungle. Because right now, it's very clear that just the best junglers are just attackers. You just run an attacker in the jungle, like Greninja or Cinderace, or hell, you can run Venusaur in jungle, Pikachu in jungle, Gardevoir in jungle, who else? Ninetales in jungle, like Cramorant in jungle. But Greninja and Cinderace dominating the jungle it's a little ridiculous. It makes me feel like the Speedster role is just basically worthless. Like Zeraora is a great Pokemon, and Gengar is still a great Pokemon, and like a lot of the all-rounders are really good in jungle and kind of need to be in jungle. Like there's so many Pokemon that kind of need to be in jungle to exist. Like every single Speedster can only ever really jungle. And all of the all-rounders, except for like Lucario and Machamp sometimes, if you play it right. Like Lucario and Machamp are the only 2 of 2 classes that can jungle, or that can lane, and the rest have to be put in jungle. But they're all just overshadowed by 2 attackers and just Greninja and Cinderace being in jungle. And to me, that's just like silly. It just makes me feel like all these characters are just useless. And in a sense, like, obviously they're good. Like Charizard's pretty good, like Machamp in jungle's great, but when you start getting to the top level, you really just like need Greninja in the jungle, or else you're throwing the game. Like it's annoying. I'd love to see just Speedsters have like a specific role. Like the Speedsters are the ones who go in the jungle, and like some of the all-rounders are the ones who go in the jungle. So there's a YouTuber out there, content creator, streamer, named Crashy, who is he's a premier jungler. He's a Masters ranked jungler. Has played a bunch of MOBAs, and he brought up the idea, a way to nerf attackers in the jungle is that either all of these minions like Ludicolo and Tauros do more damage to just attackers in general, which would be a little weird. It'd be a little like kind of a weird, just like straight up nerf balancing act to the junglers or to the attackers. Otherwise, he brought the idea of why attackers are so good is because they can just kind of sit around these walls and you can just kite the jungle minions. He brought up the idea of letting the jungle minions kind of re-heal themselves, almost like Dreadnought and Zapdos do when you're not attacking them for long enough. They kind of go back, and their health bar just replenishes. He mentioned something about doing that with the jungle minions, mainly just Tauros and Ludicolo. Maybe the Corphish too. I think the Corphish in the middle would be good. Not something like Lillipup. Like you don't want to make it so like if you mess up for a second, your jungle is now like ruined completely. But just some kind of nerf. Maybe they come back and slowly reset their health. That way you can't just sit back and kite. I mean, you can still just sit here and jungle with the attackers, but that's at least some kind of maybe mini change. I think that kind of change paired with the roll lock, like 2 of each roll, would be really cool. and I think that'd be great to see some kind of change there. Next up, I want to talk about the objectives in this game. I think there are... This game is clearly an objective game. You're trying to get Zapdos, you're trying to get Dreadnought, but it's also very clear that Rotom is just not that good. You get Rotom, you don't really get a lot of experience for it, and then you have to walk it over to get to the goal to let it score, and you get a free dunk. You get a free instant dunk on it. But I'd love to see some kind of AI change to Rotom. Maybe Rotom attacks 3 times and then is just going to walk no matter what, even if it's getting attacked, even if it's still like trying to attack people. It'll just do 3 auto attacks and then it'll just move forward a little bit, because I've seen so many times where Rotom's just like sitting right here and it's just attacking, and it's just like, come on, go in there, like you're having a huge team fight right here, and you're just like, come on Rotom, go in the goal, get in the goal. I'd love to see it, because Dreadnought and Zapdos are just so crazy. They're just so crazy, like overbearing, honestly, in the game. Like, if you're not getting Dreadnought, you're losing. And if you don't get Zapdos, it's straight up just no. And I'd rather see just a Rotom buff to kind of give the players kind of another choice, another like reason to go for Rotom, because it feels like you just ignore top lane, you ignore Rotom, you just come down for Dreadnought. You get a shield, you get like 2 levels, maybe a slight change to Dreadnought. Maybe instead of getting like, maybe just lower the experience you get by a little bit. Maybe just, honestly, I'd be okay if Dreadnought did more damage, so it can't be soloed. So like you can't have like a Garchomp or a Charizard, or even like Gengar, just like sitting down there and soloing it. Like, it'll actually kill. It'll actually just kill him if you're fighting it alone. I think that'd be really cool. And some kind of change to Zapdos, the Insta-Dunk at the end, with double points on every single goal. You just go bum rush Zapdos. It's a little ridiculous. I think if Zapdos maybe... Let's take a look at the mini-map. I think if Zapdos only made it Insta-Dunk on 1 lane, I think that would be really cool. I think that'd be a much better change. That way it's a lot easier to defend that lane. Like, everyone just comes in groups top. And maybe it's like you can't even score on the center goal until every single... No, someone had an idea of like, you can't dunk on the center until every single other goal is dunked on, but like, that's what you should be doing anyways when you got Zapdos. You should just be going for the wings first and then you go to the center. Like, that wouldn't change anything in my opinion. I think if Zapdos just made Insta-Dunk on 1 lane entirely. Also with that, either with that or a different change would be that Zapdos is, the Insta-Dunk time goes down, because there's you have so much time in the world to respawn, run from your base to their base and just go score, and then you can even go kill some minions and then score again, and then like kill them and score again. Like, you can just dunk for so long. It makes playing defense just really hard. Like, honestly, at the end game, you want to play defense against Zapdos, but as soon as Zapdos is like killed and stolen, someone's got it, playing defense at that point is just out the window. Like, the game's basically over unless you have some amazing play, unless you like are able to kill everybody. It's so like impossible to stop everyone from scoring. Maybe even a change to Insta-Dunk. Maybe Insta-Dunk isn't like actually instant, it's just like crazy reduced timer. I don't know. I'm not sure what kind of change. I just want to see some kind of rebalancing to Zapdos. I'm okay with it being a comeback mechanic. I'm totally fine with it being a comeback mechanic. I wouldn't even mind maybe some change to Dreadnought. I think an increase to Rotom, an increase to Rotom. Maybe Rotom gives you a little bit more experience. Maybe Dreadnought gives you less experience as a trade-off. And then Rotom has a better AI, so it attacks like 3 times, even 5 times, and then it's just gonna walk forward automatically. That would be cool. Just some tiny little change to Rotom there. And then maybe one tiny little change to Zapdos, just to make the objectives a little bit more balanced out. Like, Rotom is basically worthless compared to Dreadnought and compared to Zapdos, and it's even like Dreadnought is even so much more important than Zapdos itself, because if you just get Dreadnought as many times as you can. You just scale super, super hard, and your team can't do anything to stop you. Stuff like that. Objective rebalancing. And then, yeah, just kind of on top of that end game, I think when you die, there's some times where, like, if the game will kind of punish you for winning in a way, that if you're getting a bunch of kills, if you don't die and then you die at the end of the game, I'm gonna let Zapdos kill me. You just you're just gone for so long. Like, I've seen somebody they have only died like once in the game, and they're dead for like 50 seconds, like basically a minute. They're gone for the rest of the game, because they've been getting kills, they haven't died. It's just kind of incentivized. Like, you want to be incentivized to be living as long as you can and be getting kills, but at that point you almost just lose because you were doing so good, and it's like, oh, because I was doing so good, I'm gone for the rest of the game, so now my team has to deal with a 4v5 at the end of the game. I think that's a little ridiculous. And even just being dead for 30 seconds, in my opinion, is a little ridiculous at the end. Maybe 20. Tone that down a little bit, especially if you lost. Or I think if you didn't get Zapdos, like if the enemy team didn't get Zapdos, I don't think you should be gone for longer than 15 seconds. I think you should be back in the game quickly. So, again, just going back to that, so you have a way to play defense against Zapdos in the end game. Just feels like look how long this Zapdos timer is. I guess I didn't really show it, but like I've still got 20 seconds. Just gonna walk up here. I didn't even know Herdier evolved. That's funny. Oh, I guess I can't. I'm dumb. But like, look how long. I was like, oh, I went to the wrong goal. Oh, I still have like 10 seconds to dunk on this goal, and then I can make it back to this one with whatever experience, and then dunk on it again. It's just so ridiculous. Like, you just are allowed to dunk so much points at the end of the game, and I find it a little ridiculous. I think it just needs a slight tweak, just so we can put to rest the Zapdos shenanigans. Just to put that stuff to rest. That's all I really care about. Oh, the last thing I was gonna talk about, I didn't really show it in game because I forgot about it. I was talking about objectives and stuff. The very last thing I want to talk about is chat, kind of in-game chat, not in-game like voice chat, just in-game commands. Let me just hop into a game real quick. I gotta show you this menu, and just it's really unimpressive. I feel like you don't get enough to clearly communicate things. Just a better chat wheel, a better ping system, a better chat wheel. I come from Apex, and they've had stuff like you can ping things, like you can ping where an enemy is. I mean, obviously it's a different game. It's a first-person shooter, and this is a MOBA, so you can't have the same kind of thing. But I've noticed how helpful it is to have a better chat system. Like this, I think just needs some more options. Like maybe, like I need backup, and being able to ping a spot on the map is great. Like, hey, check it out. Hey, let's go check out Rotom. Hey, let's go check out this base. Like defend our goals and stuff like that. I think I'd love to see something that says, I got this, like kind of like leave me alone, like get out of my, just to get people out of my jungle. Like when I'm here, I'm not trying to say I need backup. I want to say, hey, get the fuck out of my jungle. Like I got this. Go maybe head this way. Something like that would be nice. Just some kind of like, oh, I got this lane. Like you go over, gather here. I guess we could gather here. Like it's, but gather here is like on me. So I don't want people coming to me. I want people to go away. I want people to be like, hey, like you should go over here. Maybe some way to kind of like be like, hey, you go over here. Either with minimap. I think the minimap ping overall is fine. I just think maybe some kind of increase, some kind of a betterment to this wheel here. Maybe just a couple more options. Like I think if you just hit up on the D-pad again, it should go away. So you can get rid of the cancel. You can put something like, I got this, go help somebody else, or like head, like hey, you should head to the top lane, or hey, you should head. Because it's all saying like, oh, this is what I'm gonna say. I just want something that says like, here's what you should do. Like here's kind of me taking command and be like, let's all head, instead of me heading to the bottom path, like say head to the bottom path, or we need help in the bottom path, without me having to be there, without me needing to do I don't know. I don't know exactly how I would do it. I would just give more options here that say things like, I would probably say something like, I can handle this, go help such and such lane. Or I'd say like, go help bottom, go help top lane, go help central area. I'd say I have like maybe I'd move the headed to central area over here by cancel. And then right over here I'd say, go help, or bottom lane needs backup, top lane needs backup, central lane needs backup. These three are all fine, like whatever. Just something else. Maybe a couple more in there. I think that'd be a huge change. I'd love to see that change. Done to the game. And that's about it, guys. Honestly, there's not a bunch of changes. I don't think any of these changes are really all that big. But there's some things I definitely want to see change in the game. There's definitely some updates I'd love to see. And yeah, that's gonna do it for the video, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Stay tuned to the channel. Like, comment, subscribe. If you want to see more content, let me know let me know what changes you want to see. If you agree with any of the changes, let me know some ideas you have for like the command menu. Some ideas for maybe some character nerfs like Snorlax. Some ideas for character buffs, like I just want to see Garchomp and Absol, and just the speedsters in general. Some kind of change to the jungle. I want to see some stuff like that. So yeah, that's gonna do it for the video, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good rest of your day.